13 years after the 9/11 attacks, Muslims in New York say discrimination is at intolerable levels. Community activists say racial profiling and surveillance are rampant. They worry things will get even worse as the U.S. goes on the offensive against the Islamic State. CCTV's Nick Harper brings us a story of two Muslim Americans who have grown up in the years since the 2001 attacks.
Mehir Mohsin is part of the post-September the 11th generation. Just 11 years old when hijacked planes hit the World Trade Center in New York and the Twin Towers fell. Since then, she says discrimination has just become part of life.
Something that you have to watch over your shoulder all the time, and it's something that people of my generation, people of my age have become very conditioned to. And I think a lot of that has to do with the treatment that we deal with from our law enforcement agencies.
Records from the Federal Bureau of Investigation show in the year following the 2001 terror attacks on the U.S., hate crimes against Muslim Americans in the country shot up by 1,700%. And now, with the Islamic State, or IS, growing in power, and with the U.S. intervening, Mehir fears troubles overseas will only increase Islamophobia back home.
2010, 2011, it was pretty down, and now it's like sky high again, as if we're repeating the time around 9/11. And I think that has a lot to do with international politics and what's happening in, quote-unquote, the Muslim world.
New York City has more mosques than any other city in the US, around 200. And yet with Islam so visible, and with hundreds of thousands of Muslims living here in the city, discrimination still seems to be a persistent problem. Aisha Irfan was a teenager during those difficult post-9/11 years. She feels the damage cannot be easily undone, especially following last year's revelations that the New York Police Department had been spying on Muslim communities for years. The city says the surveillance was designed to prevent terrorism.
Until there is a space where we recognize that we have conflated Islam with terrorism and extremism, I don't think we can move beyond any of the damage that's been done. And I don't know that that's really an intention that the New York Police Department has until they're willing to have a conversation like that.
The NYPD declined our request for a comment. For some New York Muslims, very little has altered since that initial anti-Islamic sentiment exploded immediately after 9/11. It's left behind a generation for whom discrimination looms large in their daily lives. Nick Harper, CCTV, New York.